What is going on, guys? Randy back again here with midweek review. This is the last review of January. Tomorrow, February starts. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Okay, so I'm going to get straight to it. I'm going to take too much of your time. All right, so we're on the chart of GU as always, and we can see here from the monthly perspective that we are overall in the seller's market. All right, and if I put my Fibonacci from the high to the low here, you can see that we are close to a critical zone, which is a 72% Fibonacci zone. So that's my golden zone, actually. Yeah. And I can also maybe place this as a breaker structure, right? So knowing that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the weekly time frame, try to see what we can. Weekly time frame, honestly, there's nothing big except for barely like this breaker structures here, okay? This to me, all breaker structures, okay? Breaker structure, and we can argue that this is a zone, okay? And also, if I take my fib from the high to the low there, you clearly see that we are also close to the 72% zone, okay? So now that I know that, I'll go to the daily time frame to try to see what's going on, okay? Daily time frame, honestly, it's still, to me, this is still bullish. Like there was one sign of sellers, but then buyers came back into this market. As you can see here, the order flow is buyers, high, 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 low, high, 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 low, high, 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 low. Get a little bit of a break structure here, but until this low was not broken, this stays a buyer's market. Okay, and then we had another high, 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 low, high, high, and then here we can see we can see that we had a little bit of a, we also had like a breaker structure here. Okay, and I actually had this candle as my candle responsible for the break, but price dropped, but it did not end up breaking it, which leads me to believe that buyers are somehow still a big part of this market. Okay. So I was looking at this as like a head and shoulder. Okay, I was expecting a break there. If price broke this, I would have expected a move back to the zone, and then that way I was going to take it all the way down all to the downside. But that did not end up happening. So what do we have here? Price is actually stuck in between this consolidation here. Okay, so what I like to do sometimes is to place this just for reference, but I'm not trading based on this trend lines. Okay, it's just for reference that each time that price hits the zone, I'll be looking for sales, but not just straight away. I'm gonna go to the lower time frame to try to see what is going to happen. Okay, so as we can see here, when price got here, it sold all the way down to this line. And when it got back there, it sold all the way down to this line. And now we at that line again. And now look at this price action. This price action is really, really, really not interesting. Okay, there's a lot of there's a huge negotiations happening here between buyers and sellers, and like it's very, no decision has been made yet. No one is in control yet. This is more like it's a consolidation. Okay, consolidation for me is just a disagreement between buyers and sellers. Okay, so sellers are trying to take over, buyers trying to take over until one of them wins. Okay, so in markets like this, there's nothing confirmed yet for me. Okay, but if I go to the H4, try to see what we had as an opportunity so far this week. Okay. Like I said, like if you watch the previous the weekend last weekend's weekend analysis, you can see that I had analysis here, right? Okay. And I told you guys, like, let's forget about this price, okay? Let's just focus on like this. Okay. To me, this was lower, low, lower, high, lower, low. And that was a breaker structure for me. Okay. That was a breaker structure for me. This was actually my first trade of the week, of which I lost. Okay, so far this week I'm down 1%. It's not a big issue. When I make the money back, it's 10 times more. When I lose, it's one. When I win, it's 7 to 8 times plus that. So I don't really worry about the losses that much. Okay, so boom. So we have this little block right here. Okay. All right, time for auto block. And that was my auto block. Okay, that was my point of interest. And then let's go to the 1 hour, try to see what happened. Okay, so breaker structure. Argue that this was another breaker structure again. Okay, Fibonacci from the low to the high point. Okay, and I had this as my 72% zone. All right, 72% zone. Obviously, delete the fib. Okay, so when let me go to the 15-minute time frame, try to see what happened. Okay, so this here, okay, this here happened when I was asleep. Like I wasn't able to trade this because like this is like 1 a.m. in the morning, my time zone. Okay, so price came to the 72% zone, and we had buyer's presence, okay? Buyer's presence. Obviously, I take my fib from the low to the high again. Place my buy. If I had to take this trade, I didn't take this entry. I took this entry here. Okay. Entry to price came back to the 72% zone, and obviously I would have targeted the high. Okay, this high was going to be my target. Okay, this high was going to be a target. So look at that. That's an 11.36 R. Like, you can't be too cool for that. So if you lose one. But if you win 11.36. Like, why? Like, you should not really worry about losses that much. You understand? So losses don't really matter, especially if you go for these higher risk to reward ratios. Like, you can lose 3, 4, 5 times in a row. But if you make one trade of 11 like this, you make up for your losses plus a lot more profits on top of it. Okay, so I did not take this entry because I was asleep. But when I woke up in the morning, I saw this breaker structure again. Okay, saw this breaker structure there. I pressed my fib from the low to the high, and I placed my buy stop. Okay, my buy stop right there. It's like my buy limit. Okay, buy limit order right there. Stop loss was just below here, and then I was starting this high, but that did not end up happening. Okay, you got stopped out. You got stopped out. Okay, so now let's see, why did we get stopped out? There's always a reason why you get stopped out. Okay, sometimes but to me, this is a good loss. It's not a bad loss. Like, this is not like a psychological loss whereby I lost based on some stupid mistake. No, this is a loss by following my plan. To me, this is a great loss. It's a good loss. Understand? It's only a bad loss if I was doing some funny things here and not being impatient and stuff. No, I was really patient. I did what my strategy tells me to do. That's also one thing, guys. Like, you need to respect your strategy. When you take a loss and you know that you've back tested your strategy, you know that you have an edge, don't be afraid to lose. Like, for as long as you know you stuck to your plan, don't really be afraid to lose. You understand? So that's you really need to understand that. But other than that, guys, look at what this week is doing. To me now, there's not really anything solid for me here, because like, after that loss, then price did. We can argue that. Okay. Then there was another setup that happened while I was asleep. I don't take these setups while I'm asleep. Okay. So we had another breaker structure here. Okay. A breaker structure here. We can argue that this is candle responsible for the break. Okay. And then we go to M15. Okay, M15, you can see that this was a nice setup actually. See? M15, price is playing here, higher high, and then they broke to the downside. Okay, when they break to the downside, this automatically becomes a breaker structure for me. Fibonacci from the high to the low. Okay, high to the low. Place my sell stop limit at 72%. Stop loss just above the 100. Okay, target. Now, if I go to the H4, actually, let's look at the final target. Okay. Final target, they need to flip from the high to the low. Final target is a 22, okay? Mine is 27.2, okay? And then I'll delete that. Let's go back to M15. Let's see how many R is that. Okay, this is 20. Guys, look at this, 25.12 R. That trade alone, 25. That means if you're risking, like, let me take out my calculator. Let's say you own like a $100,000 account, okay? I actually want to show you how crazy this is. Say you own a $100,000 account. Okay, what is 1% of a $100,000 account? 1% of a $100,000 account is 1,000. Okay, you divide that by the amount of stop loss. This is 2.5 divided by 2.5. Okay, that means it gives you 400. You take one decimal to the right, it's a 40 lot trade. Okay, that's 40.00 lot size that you're using, which means for one pip you're making $400. Okay, so you take that and you time it by 62.8. Okay, times 62.8. That's a $25,000, $120,000 trade. So off of this one trade on on the $100,000 account, you're making 25%. You understand? 25%. So I mean, after taking a trade like this, you are chilling. Like you request for your payout, and you are chilling. You can even buy more challenges, and then it's just like the possibilities are really endless, guys. But you really need to understand what you're doing in the market. Like you need to know what is your A plus setup, what is your A setup, what is your B setup. What you need to know what you do in certain situations in the market. So it's very, very important, guys. So that's the second opportunity of this week. And other than that, now if I zoom out, you can see that there's not really like to me, that's actually why I'm chilling this week, because like the market's conditions are not they are really not what like my strategy tells me to do. Like for instance here, okay? For instance here, like the market like to me, I'm just gonna chill until tomorrow. Till tomorrow, I'm gonna see what the rate is going to do. Like I think there's like a interest rate news on GBP tomorrow morning, so I'm gonna wait to see what that's going to do to this to GU. But as for now, we can see here break. You see lower low low high low low and break a structure there. You see, we can argue that this is also liquidity, but I don't really like to trade liquidity because it causes confusion. Like me, I just like clean move like this. You see this as well. Someone would have argued that okay, this is liquidity grab, blah blah blah. Buy side liquidity stuff like that. Okay, no problem. You can do that, but I don't really like to look at liquidity that much. Because then it ends up confusing me. Because I'll see something like this, I'll be like, okay, it could be liquidity, it could be a break of structure. You're already confused. So I just like to when I see this to me is a break of structure, and this is my area responsible to break. Okay, if I take a loss, fine, no problem. No, it does not matter because when I lose one. When I make 10, 11, 5. Understand? So I don't really. I'm not trying to lose. I'm not trying to win every time, and you just need to understand that. Like you don't need to win every time. Like win one trade. Say you lost like 5, 6 trades in a row. Okay, and then on the next trade you make a 7 or 8 or 9 hour trade. Do your past losses really matter? No, they do not matter because like you've made back your losses plus a lot more profit after that. So that's actually why the losses don't matter. And you don't need to be a perfectionist in the market. Like don't think you're gonna trade, you're gonna win all the time. You need to get that out of your head. Like the market is made out of random distribution between wins and losses. Like you're gonna win some, you're gonna lose some. The market are really random. What you need to do is stick to your edge and stick to what your edge tells you to do if you want to be successful in this market. And also here, guys, like this could also be liquidity here. I see. As a matter of fact, it is liquidity. Okay, people say, oh, it's liquidity. Now, this is the overall move. Okay, place the flip from the high to the low right there. Okay, we are at the 72% zone. I understand. There's a high chance of price actually going all the way down. Okay, from here going all the way down there. Okay, of which I think that's what's going to happen. That's what might happen. I don't know. Like you never know what the market's going to do. Okay, but before I do this, I'm going to go to the M15 and try to see what's actually happening. Okay, so yeah, you see now this is something that I might consider. Okay, because like now here, what did we have? We just have the Fed release from USD. Okay, so that's actually what caused this bigger structure. Okay. So now to me, this is really interesting because I can place my fib from the high there to the low. And I may place like a sell stop here. Okay. Sell stop right there. Uh, uh, Stop loss just above there. My target obviously will be there. Okay. So that's a 7 hour trade. Okay. So yeah, this could happen. This really could happen. Like I actually see something like this happening, but I'm not gonna take this trade. I'm not gonna take a trade until tomorrow morning. So guys, yeah. So let's just wait and see. But what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen tomorrow? Let's see if we get an opportunity for people that are in my Discord. I know you haven't had an opportunity in 2 days. That's because guys, look at the market. The market is really really choppy, really funny. And like if you go back to the daily time frame, you can see that. There's a big struggle. Like there's a big struggle. Look at all this. Like this is where you lose money. Man. You lose money when things like this are happening. You see, when you have smooth things like this, blah blah blah. That's when you have your best opportunities. But here, there's really a huge negotiation between buyers and sellers. So I will not really get involved until I see some form of confirmation tomorrow morning after the Fed release from GBP. All right, guys. So I think this is actually the first longest uh, market recap. So yeah, enjoy the rest of your week. I hope you have a profitable week altogether, and I'll talk to you on Saturday. All right, good luck.